Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reymond und David Bale.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the episode of Hypecast.
Hi.
It is the show
Hypecast.
where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Reymond.
I'm your other co-host, David Bell.
And I'm Drew Grant. Is that
True.
good? Yeah, woo!
Yeah, you
Thank
did
you
it.
for joining.
Nailed
us.
it.
Mystery solved about last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Who
were
was it?
you were
Who
last
was
week's
it?
mystery guest.
It was me. It was moi. I listened to it yesterday. Your guys' very lonely, very sad Hypecast without me, and I felt
Yeah.
a wave of guilt. But I had a good reason. I was driving our mutual friend of the show, Lon Harris, to get emergency wisdom teeth surgery.
How is
Oh,
he?
no.
How's Lon?
Can I tell you something? After surgery, he was like the best I've seen him ever. He was like the happiest, most cogent Lon. Like we were just talking about life and philosophy and all this stuff. Like we just had one of these like really
You're like,
epic.
being
When he was
Yeah.
on all the drugs,
on
you mean?
drugs
Yeah.
really helped him. Being on painkillers.
Well, no, he apparently didn't. He said he was on like nothing. They just put him out, and then we was having totally normal conversation. Didn't seem high at all. The next day, he's like, I can't remember one thing that we talked about in that car ride. I was like, oh no, we had a really good talk.
We had such a meaningful conversation.
Yeah. I was like, that
That's
meant so much
amazing.
to me. Yeah, that meant so much to me, and it means nothing to him. He never experienced it.
No, so
That's incredible.
I'm glad you felt that because that's how we felt when you had to bail on us last week.
That's true.
Just
God.
completely
True.
deflated. Yeah.
It hurt.
It's
It hurt.
karma.
It hurt.
Wisdom teeth is fun. I did my wisdom teeth, and I was like a teenager, and I remember my dad took me to the video store afterwards, and I apparently rented, I think it was like Scooby-Doo and City of Lost Children. Like, it was something just like completely unhinged, because of course it was.
Yeah.
Because, like, and it was the same deal where it's like, you seemed fine. It's like, really? Because I don't remember shit.
It's because it's because they give you these things called they're like not it's something that makes you erase your memory from the future. Like it erases future
Right.
memories, so it's not quite a analgesic or whatever. It's like a
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what if the conspiracy theory is like, what if they never actually knock you out? They just erase your memory of the time they tortured you.
Yeah, they do.
And you were awake the whole time screaming, and you never know.
Yeah,
That's
it's
literally what they do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You
Oh,
can't
God.
you can't form new memories for like a period of time after taking like a Thorazine or one of those medications. Like you can't form new
Right.
memories. So yeah, you seem fine. Like you'll act like normal, but yes, your body is going through something horrible.
Yeah, and they're just calling you bad
man.
names,
Yeah.
and really
Yeah.
like letting loose.
I'm
Yeah.
a secret memento.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's being
Big memento, yeah.
secret
Can you
Guy
imagine-
Pierce.
Can you imagine doing this for events that you just don't want to remember though? Like I feel like that would have been 90% of my like adult
yeah.
experiences.
Eternal Sunshine,
Yeah.
Severance.
Severance.
I mean, if I had
Yeah.
access to it, that would just be every day for me.
mm-hmm.
I'd wake up 3 years from now and be like, what the hell have I been up to?
Spent a bunch of
You Google
tattoos.
some stuff, and you'd be like, "Oh, not great, not great."
That's not what I was expected to be known for at this stage.
Yeah, no, I would wake up I would be climbing out of a grave like Kill Bill.
Yeah, yeah.
But luckily, there won't be any internet to check in 3 years. We will all just be buried in some mass grave, probably
Oh,
along
thank
with our cell
goodness.
phones. Yeah, it'll be great.
I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
hopefully,
you're referencing Biden and the marijuana stuff, right?
I was not.
He's decriminalizing it, and we're all gonna, marijuana is the most dangerous thing, so it's gonna descend us into chaos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's that's definitely what I was talking about, and not like nuclear bombs. That's what I was saying.
None of that. It's the weed thing.
The weed thing. Also, somehow I think it's related to Hunter Biden's laptop. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably. That's where all the weed was. That's where all the legal weed was.
Yeah.
On Hunter Biden's laptop.
That's where that cool movie told me anyway.
Oh God, is that movie out? I want to watch that movie.
The trailer for that movie was out, and it looked. If you guys haven't covered that's.
We did.
Did we cover it?
I thought. Oh, didn't we? Or no, wait. It's in the Some
we
More
certainly
News script.
talked about it. Yeah, I don't
so
think
I thought we covered it.
I don't have like anything to say about that fucking trailer.
No. Yeah.
Other than that, it's kind of funny. Oh yeah, I do have one thing to say.
It's extremely funny.
What's the title of it again?
My son Hunter, I think.
Then why is she the narrator? So. It looks like is that.
Don't know.
Is that her son?
Don't know.
Because they want to make it as incendiary towards Biden himself as possible. I guess.
Like,
she's the narrator and the bodyguard. So unless that's a secret mom, I don't know. I just had a problem right then and there.
I don't think this isn't a defense of it, but all I say is it doesn't feel any different than like W.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, anybody can make any movie.
Yeah, any movie where it's like politically charged tends to be a bad movie because they're putting their politics before story, right?
Yeah, so it ends up being extremely embarrassing. Like there was that piece of quote-unquote satirical tweet from some knob that went around like a couple of weeks ago. It's like, oh yeah, Daily Wire is funding a biography of Malcolm X, and we're going to cast some white dude to play him. And it's like they were kidding, even though it's like completely plausible. But like nobody cared at the same time because it's like, sure, go ahead and make your weird, embarrassing movie. Like that's fine.
Yeah, and like. Yeah, all I want to say is that it tends to actually be the left that makes those embarrassing movies more
usually,
often,
yeah.
But they're all embarrassing.
They're
Every
so
single one.
Fucking
because we're in liberal Hollywood.
W is the most
Hollywood.
fucking embarrassing film. It's so bad.
But what about Vice?
Right.
What about Vice, though?
I didn't see Vice.
Vice was okay in just that I had forgotten a lot of that news cycle because it was 20 years ago. So it's like they were going over stuff that was like, oh shit, I forgot about that, you know?
Right.
Benghazi. Remember? That was a thing.
I don't.
We've not been allowed to forget about Benghazi.
I don't remember. I have no idea what you're referring to.
I thought you said you'd never forget.
Is that like a casino game? Benghazi?
Yeah.
It's a new app.
Yeah. Should we start?
Yeah, sure.
It lets you bid on sneakers.
Oh my god, I would love that.
Oh, I want it.
I want it.
Listen here.
Mm-hmm.
We have some producers we need to thank before we actually talk about movies.
Sure.
And boy, we have a lot of movies to talk about.
Yeah.
So big thank you to Darth Driftless the Wise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Hombre. Nice. Thank you to Heathcliff's Helping Handfuls.
Thank you.
Thank you to the conveniently placed self-destruct button on the top of every baby's head.
Press it.
Yeah, press it. You know you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to Samuel Beckett's Donuts and Mortgage Emporium.
Thank you.
Thank you to Snapper Car Punches God in the Dick.
Thank you.
Thank you to @Nerd Numbers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Mike the Lurker.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dracula, the bus driving vampire. Thank you to Brockway Loves the Meat Millie.
Thank you.
Thank you to David
Nice Boot
Henson. Thank you.
All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to Grumblebee. Thank you to Screaming Horse Pyramid. Thank you to Look Mime on a Podcast.
Thank
you to Zex Merkees, the Lightning Baron.
Thank
you to Deborah's Awesome, Barbara's Great, and Cancer Can Go to Hell.
Thank you.
Thank you to Numino Ultra Microscopic Silico Volcano Coniosis Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Jones.
Thank you.
Thank you to the baby from Eraserhead.
Thank you.
Thank you to Chiz Killy Tits.
Woo!
It's spooky season. Thank you to these 7 Bs.
Thank you.
And thank you to Breezy Ruisi.
Thank you. Okay.
Guys,
we had to do this trailer. Yeah,
it's a here.
It's a time.
It just happened. It happened today.
Yeah.
I've already seen that tweet. Or someone tweeted
that.
Oh no, someone tweeted the Polygon article that the headline is Chris Pratt warns his Mario voice is unlike anything you've ever heard.
It's just,
which is
he's just doing,
so funny.
Right. He's just doing Bradley Cooper's Rocket Raccoon voice.
Yeah, I mean, he's just doing Chris Pratt.
Well, I mean, like at the end, he's like, Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. Like he's got this little bit of like New York on it, and it just
he's doing the intro. He's doing the intro voice to the other Super Mario movie about the dinosaurs.
So a million years ago, there was this asteroid that came down and blew up all the dinosaurs, and they were like, "What gives?"
Look, I don't.
If he had gone that far, I would have been so excited.
If there's some sort of tie-in, I don't want to speculate here too much about what Mario is going to be like in this universe. But did you get a sense of this might be a Space Jam situation? Like, I don't think it's. I thought it was a live action movie to begin with. I thought it was going to be live action.
There's definitely like the little bit that we see. He's definitely like come to Mushroom Kingdom from like his world. I don't know if it's going to be like a live action world, but.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if it was a live action world. Just fuck it.
Yeah, who cares?
That's the thing is, so the live action Super Mario Brothers movie, the reason that's the better film and will always be the better film is because it is so deeply unhinged.
Oh yeah,
that it is entertaining, and then on top of that, it has some like really interesting things to say about fascism. It was supposed to be a Max Headroom movie at first.
Now, in case anyone listening for some reason doesn't know, Dave co-wrote a 3-hour movie about the Mario Brothers movie.
I was about to say, you could just watch that Some More News episode.
Yeah, that's true. The movie. It's not an episode.
The movie.
All right.
But the point being that doing just like my eyes just glazed the fuck over for this, and this isn't to say like if you're a child and you're watching this, good for you. I hope you have a great time. I have nothing against this movie. It's just that to me, it just looks like every other cartoon coming out.
That's what I was. Okay, go ahead, Drew.
I was gonna say what I appreciate about it though. Okay, is like leading up to this, there were a bunch of tweets being like, you know, like, it's just me like, hey, I'm Mario, and this is my town. It was like, they built this city on rock and roll. You know, it's that dumb thing, and it's like, I guess my life's pretty sweet. It's just like the beginning of Lego Movie or any of the other movies or Free Guy. This didn't do that. Like, this stayed pretty earnest to a feeling of, like, it only used the Mario theme. There's no extra music.
That's actually a really good point. If this isn't meta, that's actually more subversive now. Because the Chip and Dale one was that. Like, all these cartoons lately have been too afraid of being the thing. Mm-hmm. And so it is nice when they're just like, here's a Mario story. Here's the Mario Brothers, like,
I'm sorry, Dave. Did you say, here's a Mario?
Here's a Mario. It's a Mario.
It's a here. Like, you're right, that's so funny that, like, there's been so many of those where it's like, I'm in the Mario universe and we're going to explore the meta of that, like, if this is just a straight up movie that is just like, yeah, this is the world and now we're going to do a plot in this world, that is at least a little refreshing. Yeah. Even the Sonic one had to do the thing where it's like, and he's in real life and we're all making all these observations. Like, what are you? And this one is just, if this is unapologetically just we're telling a Mario story, and that's probably fine.
It's not like they can't, like, because it's not like the Angry Birds movie. You know, like there's been 35 years of Mario games. There's hundreds of characters. They have tons of like lore and worlds and a distinct art style. It's like they could just do a movie in the Mario universe, and that's what this looks like it is. And I did want to say, to the movie's credit, you said that it looks like everything else, and I agree that like it's the same jokes that Illumination has been making for the past 10 years. Like, the jokes in this trailer are just Minions jokes. They're the same jokes we've seen them make for a decade.
Oh, I was about to ask, are these the Madagascar people? Because those little penguins in the beginning were very like...
No, it's Illumination.
Okay.
I think Madagascar was DreamWorks? Anyway.
Yeah.
But I will say that, like, because Mario and, like, Nintendo has a pretty distinct and defined look, this movie actually does look kind of different from
You're right.
most of the other 3D animated movies that are in theaters right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's still pretty similar, but, like, it has its own... Like, you don't see characters that look like Bowser in those movies.
Right. By the way, I watched this for the first time in the worst conditions ever. I watched the premiere, like when it dropped.
Oh, on the Nintendo Direct?
Live.
Yeah.
And I watched another group, and I won't say who because it's not their fault, but a fairly large company do like a real-time reaction.
Oh.
So it's people watching the trailer. And it's like a group of adults having to, and this is their job. And that's why I don't want to it's not about them. I don't want to make fun of them, but it's their job to be excited about it. And it's just watching like a bunch of adults watch the most generic, humor and like a fairly perfectly fine Mario thing and have to be like, oh my God, mind blown. Have to really play it up, and it was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Again, it's their job, so it's that's what they're paid to do. But it's can you imagine that being your job?
Yeah.
Being okay, you're gonna have to react to this, because I guess that's what we're literally doing right now.
Right, but we're not trying to have an outsized reaction about the Mario. It's subtly different. It's subtly different.
Well, it is. It's subtly different in that I can say, I don't really care. That's it.
Well, my boyfriend, for a living, my boyfriend, for a living and for pleasure, my boyfriend edits a lot of those big name reactor channels. So I end up watching a lot of those reactions to stuff, and kind of had the same vibe. A lot of times when I first was watching, I was I don't get what is with the enthusiasm. But I will say, for something, I haven't seen anything like this, but I don't know, there's something that's sort of genuinely positive about it when you see something like the Wakanda Forever trailer or something where you're just I just really want to watch people get hyped and cry in front of the trailer. Maybe not for this.
Well, Wakanda Forever makes a lot more sense, but yeah.
Yeah, and if it's little kids reacting to the new Little Mermaid, shit like that, where it's that's cute. I like that. Mm-hmm. But when it's the combination of grown adults working for a corporation who are there to be okay, you have to react to this. And you have to be interesting to a trailer that ultimately, this trailer, like you said, it's very the DreamWorks humor. Mm-hmm. It's just fine. It's fine.
It is extremely aggressively fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It built up something with the score at the end that I kind of was feeling something. I don't know, that score, that grand epic Damon Dwaldy version of the Mario theme. I was
that was kind of cool.
Dun, dun, they're making
I want
that noise.
them to Game of Thrones the fuck out of that theme song. Yeah. Yeah.
They had that cool.
I might not. Oh no, I was just gonna say I might not watch this movie, but I might get the soundtrack. You're right.
It was really good. They played Bowser's theme and I think Mario's theme, and it was dun dun dun, and then they did that dun dun dun. When we're doing that quick cross cuts of different scenes, and it just makes a feeling happen. It's just an emotional manipulation. But I was just yes,
yep.
Mario, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to watch this movie, right? It's Mario. I don't know.
I might watch it on streaming or something. I mean, if there's nothing playing and we have to watch it for podcast, obviously I'll watch it. I'm not you know what I mean, where it's just I don't. Again, I feel nothing, and not in a negative way. It's just this looks fine. Yeah. I have my Mario, my generation's Mario movie, and I prefer it.
Yeah,
but
the superior Mario.
Yeah, if people like this one,
Superior.
Well, look, Superior. Mario. Let me remind you guys. Let's take a little time travel back to spring, summer 2018, though, when we were on a Hypecast episode talking about Sonic the Hedgehog trailer and talking about how bad it looked and how we just weren't that excited for it. And I turned out that movie was pretty okay. That movie did better than I thought it was going to do in my brain.
Yeah. It was better than I expected, yeah.
The teeth were fine.
Yeah, we had a very low bar, and it stepped over the bar.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It successfully stepped over the bar.
Again, this is going back to the live action one, which is I'd rather big swings. Because if you miss, it's still spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. It's very memorable. I will say this movie looks good. Illumination, I think... writes horrible jokes and uses the same jokes over and over again, but boy, do they make pretty looking movies, and this movie looks good.
Yeah, I bet if I took a bunch of mushrooms, I'd really enjoy this film.
Oh, hell
which is actually very appropriate for watching this. So
it
maybe
is
I'll
the
do
Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah.
I like. Was I supposed to know who those things were in the beginning? They were hanging out with Bowser. First of all, good call opening up with Bowser. That's a good way to do it. Like, cause there's a lot more people in this universe. I think creatures.
I think those penguins are like new. I remember them from one of the
aren't
newer
they the little shits
ones.
from 64?
They might be in 64. I
you
mostly
have to help it find its mom.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
that makes sense because I was like the way Bowser looked in his like image, his shadow, it looked like an N64 version of Bowser. So that makes sense. That's the style they're going for. Yeah, it all kind of looks N64-y.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about this next trailer?
Yeah.
Mario Forever.
What if we said no? What if we were like, yeah. This is Wakanda Forever. This is new Black Panther trailer. I've been avoiding these. Like, it's coming out in November, but they've been very good. Like, there's only like 2 trailers.
Yeah.
And I think they themselves are like, let's not show much.
They're really not showing much, which I appreciate.
The big reveal here is that Black Panther is clearly a lady.
Oh.
Yes.
It's got the Black Panther jumps down and it's got bosoms. And I'm guessing it's what's her name with the staff,
Shuri.
who's awesome.
I think it's Shuri.
It's going to be Shuri, yeah, probably.
Is Shuri the one I'm thinking of?
No, Shuri is his sister, the tech one.
But didn't they show her getting like a Hulk thing in
No,
this?
that's with Ironheart, I believe.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't come at me about Marvel nerds. But I believe
it's the one. She's like, what is she? Anti-vax? What is her deal?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Gonna do?
I just thought. That's fine too.
Maybe I'm wrong. I'm thinking about it. Who was in that mech suit? It did kind of look like the.
I mean, Ironheart's supposed to be in the movie, so I assumed that was her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make more sense. And they show an Ironheart in the other trailer.
Yeah.
So.
Well, also, I thought the big reveal of this was that what's his name? Namor. He comes
with the wings.
He comes down those little spinny shoes.
His little ankle wings.
He's got
little foot wings.
Why would you even need that?
Silly.
Why would you need that under the sea? Does it propel you?
Because it rules. That's why.
Oh my god!
I want it to be that he accidentally flips upside down and like.
Yeah,
you'd
fly like a fucking jerk with those things.
Yeah,
It'd be so good.
That looks. First of all, his shit looks. Sorry for cursing. His shit looks awesome. Like, I love his whole underwater world. I love that they ride whales. I love that it's like somehow seems like related to the Avatar sequel movie. But like, and it, like, you know, the first trailer really got me. Like that. How could it not? Like that first trailer is just it's an awesome trailer. You feel a lot. This one, I think. I can't get past the little feety things that he's such a badass underwater.
This one was a little more like traditional Marvel trailer than the initial one.
Yeah,
I think.
Here's what stands out with Black Panther, because it's been so long and I haven't rewatched it in a while, and it's easy to like forget why I loved that movie. And this trailer seems to know why I loved the movie and the trailer before, because they show action. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is they show like a car chase, they show fights. And I remembered now what I love about Black Panther, which is that they do practical effects. They do practical stunts, obviously with CGI in the mix too, but like they treat it like an action film. Not a fantasy film, an action film. Mm-hmm. And watching this trailer reminded me like, oh my God, I'm so excited for that, for the action that's going to be in this. Mm-hmm. And I think these trailers are really good in that they've really reminded me like what I liked about Black Panther. And then, of course, they're in such a difficult situation in terms of like, you know, how to write it. And it looks like they just tackled it head on. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm very excited for this. And then the lack of trailers, the fact that I don't feel oversaturated by this. I'm not like already sick of the movie, you know? I'm just, it's coming out in November and there's been 2 trailers. I'm sure there'll be a big TV ad push now, mm-hmm. but for the most part, like, I think they did a really good job marketing this.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, oh, this movie's coming out in November. I was like, that's very soon. I feel like they should have been telling us more about this.
Well, I think in their mind, they're like, do we really need to tell people?
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I think the first trailer was like one of the most watched trailers ever in the first 24 hours, something like that. Also, the original Black Panther is one of the best written of the MCU movies.
It might be the best MCU movie.
It's definitely it's certainly probably the most compelling villain anyway, the most compelling conflict.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think like we were saying about the action, like it's one of those few Marvel movies where it doesn't feel like the action was directed by somebody else. I mean, I'm sure it was, but like the action sort of flows seamlsly into like the movie's themes. I think Ryan Coogler's just that good that the movie feels like a Ryan Coogler movie that happens to take place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, kind of like
for sure,
kind of like the first Taika one, Ragnarok did that as well,
right?
So
it also, and the action also again feels very grounded in a way that makes it then like matter, like as opposed to like people breaking through like fucking buildings and like big CGI spectacle.
That's gonna be in this for sure.
I'm sure.
Namor and fucking whale riding and stuff, but like, I know what you're saying.
They're good at knowing like to include the more grounded stuff. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Black Panther had one of the more embarrassing CGI scenes.
The final fight,
yeah, that was my biggest critique of that movie, is that it still had to be a superhero movie, and like all that is that's the biggest issue. But it's still a fantastic film, and so I assume there'll be a level of bullshit in this too. But like, I bet it's gonna be really fucking good.
I just wonder, like, at what point does Matt Murdock show up? And
I want Matt Murdock to show up in everything.
Yeah, you know what?
For no reason.
I don't even need a Daredevil series if they just stick him in every single movie from here on.
Can I be honest? Kind of same. I was about to tweet out something earlier. I was like, kind of into this, into just letting him be like a floater.
Yeah. As a free agent.
But I think my joke there was more just about like, this is one of those Marvel properties that doesn't seem connected to the larger world of like what they're trying to do with like the secret invasion or like with Kang stuff or like
which was like the first Black Panther. It's sort of on the side. They're dealing with like the Wakanda stuff.
Yeah,
and I like that. It's the same way that they all kind of like Thor deals with his Thor business, in the Thor movies. But like every now and then things kind of tie in. Wakanda feels like very much tacked on, but I never mind it. Like even in the Avengers films where they like go to Wakanda, it works, but it always feels like Wakanda's not really like a big part of it.
Yeah,
and honestly, that's fine. Like because I think the more tied into the MCU it is, the more bogged down.
Exactly. So I don't need a lot of crossover characters, I guess I'm saying, in this one.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't need like 2 post-credit spoilers where like Matt Murdock shows up and I don't know. Let's pick another one. Blade's there.
Yeah, but I like that Bilbo's still in it.
Bilbo Baggins. Bilbo running around in there.
Yeah. How about this next trailer, The Wonder?
So I thought this was the one about the one that's a sequel to the one with Julia Roberts about the guy with the kid with the messed up face. But this one's about the Holocaust. I thought it was that one.
I have no idea what you're talking about,
guys. Okay.
This is a Netflix movie starring Florence Pugh.
Right.
It sure is.
Yeah. You guys don't remember Wonder, and then you don't remember like a Wonder story that just came out with Helen Mirren, and it's like about her.
No.
Okay, I'll come back to this. That sounds crazy.
Oh man, no, that one passed me by.
It's like a sequel to the Mask thing they did a couple years ago that was called Wonder.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Okay, I'm so sorry to derail this.
No, you're fine.
Florence Pugh thing sounds great too.
This looks like this looks creepy, but also like it's probably not fully a horror movie. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's actually supernatural. That's my big take, because it's Florence Pugh, and she goes to investigate this child who they say hasn't eaten in like 4 months, and it's like the church or something. I'm guessing the child has eaten. Yeah, my guess is that she's secretly eating. Yeah, and this is a drama. I think this is a drama, not a horror movie.
Yeah.
The trailer is presenting it like sort of fixating on the creepy aspects of it. But it's old-timey days. Not sure exactly when, but like old-timey days. And she's a nurse getting sent there, and she's there being sent there with a nun to try to determine whether or not it is a miracle that this girl has been fasting for 4 months and is still alive. And creepy shit spirals out from there, but also it seems like it's more about family dynamics and gender dynamics and church dynamics. Like, I think you're right, Dave. I think it's going to be more of a drama than anything else.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, go on.
No. Okay.
I was just going to say, I have some predictions for this film. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a good film.
It looks good, yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll piss off a lot of people because it seems to be advertised as like a horror thriller.
It's not
and
be
I
a
don't
ghost.
think it's that.
No.
And so that's what I think is it's gonna be a very good movie that not like the wrong people will watch.
It's like it's like First, what's it called? First, the Ethan Hawke movie? First
Reform.
First Reform.
I thought that was a horror movie going into it, and I was like, what the hell? No.
Yeah.
It's just upsetting.
Right. But that I hear is a very good movie as well.
It is. Paul Schrader. You know.
Yeah. And this looks good. It's just, it says it's a period drama. And it's weird. It is weird how the trailer has made it out to be like, a little like creepy or something.
That's fully marketing. I mean, this is a show where we talk about marketing, so we know the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say
it's based off a book, right?
I thought it was based off a true story. I really thought this was based off a true story.
It might be both.
It's based off the Wonder, a book, and it said the writer of Room, I believe.
Yes.
So it's not only going to be a drama, but I bet it's going to be a really fucking bleak ass drama. And I
gotta tell you, I want to
watch it.
It looks bleak.
Yeah.
But it looks super good. I'm actually really interested in this movie.
Do you think you're going to see Florence Pugh crying hysterically at some point? Because I don't know if I want to see a movie if she doesn't cry in it.
We do see her shout exasperatedly, which is that's one check on the also, on the Florence Pugh bingo card.
Yeah.
Is she kind of a Tom Hardy? And what I mean by that is, if she does a movie, she's like, I'm going to do a voice. I'm going to do an accent.
Oh.
It won't be she does a different accent all the time now, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that Tom Hardy? I thought Tom Hardy's like, you put some shit over your face.
Tom Hardy's like hard to hear.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. She's sort of a Tom Hardy. She's more of a Christian Bale, I would say, in that it's like, I'm going to do an accent. You better believe I'm going to do an accent. And she's good at it. So,
Yeah, I would agree that yes, Tom Hardy is a person who just is like, I'm going to just do a fucking weird ass voice and see if anybody stops me. But I think Florence Pugh is a little more refined in that she has yet to do an accent in a movie that's been like really distracting.
Yeah, and I need her to be honest.
Like,
I want her
to. Not counting Black Widow, because everybody's doing fucking Boris and Natasha in Black Widow.
Yes.
But like other than that, she's just doing like believable. This is how a person might sound.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Can I be honest?
That's what I'm saying. More Christian Bale.
I don't. Christian Bale is a good comparison. I don't know what her voice is. She British or American? I do not know.
I don't know.
She is British.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. So I think sometimes it's just her voice.
Got that health.
Real accomplishment.
That might be her voice. Yeah. At some point we might have just accidentally heard her voice.
Maybe. There's no telling. Again, Christian Bale, where it's like, I don't know. For the longest time, I didn't know what Christian Bale actually sounded like. Because he even did interviews in the fucking accents.
Right, he'll do the interviews where it's still mostly the voice he's doing in the movie. So you're just like, what the fuck are you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, not to spin this too far off track, but did you guys read that Christian Bale GQ profile yesterday? It was.
I haven't read it. I haven't read it. I've seen like some of the quotes from it.
Yeah, they pulled the headlines out where honestly they're trying to find like outrageous things, but it's like the thing about him acting on green screen, and he says like it's monotonous, it's boring. And that's it. And people are like, oh my God, look at what Christian Bale said. And it's like, no, that sounds right. He didn't insult the movie. No.
No, it's much more, it was much more like, it was an actually very good interview that got pretty in depth about like him and who he is. And like, it's one of the rare ones. I think it was Zach Baron did it or something, or somebody did that. Somebody. And it's a really good interview. Like, I don't have any funny commentary. Just go read it because like the headlines are going to not do it justice.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Cool. Next trailer, Shotgun Wedding. I saw people on the tweeter tweeting about this, about how it doesn't go where you think. It does take a turn. It's J-Lo and what's his face?
Josh Duhamel.
Josh Duhamel.
Not Armie Hammer.
Yeah. Not Armie Hammer.
Because this was the movie he was filming when them allegations came out.
I think of him as not Timothy Oliphant.
That's a more accurate description of Josh Duhamel himself.
Was he the one married to Fergie?
Yes.
Okay, there's another guy that looks like him too. Yeah.
Yeah. They all came from the same vat.
Like Garrett Dillahunt kind of looks
yes,
like.
Yes, Garrett Dillahunt.
A little bit, yeah.
Can I ask a question? Is Jennifer Coolidge supposed to be J-Lo's mother-in-law?
I think so.
Because she is 6 years older than J-Lo.
Yeah. There's some problems with
Hollywood,
this.
baby!
My general feeling is that after that Sandy Bullock and
The Lost City.
Taters, Lost City, I think there was that realization of like, oh yeah, we can bring back the Romancing the Stone type movies. I like that. I encourage it. That said, this movie does not look great to me. I think what's his face, not Armie Hammer,
Josh
is
Duhamel.
He's not funny. Like, he's not a funny guy.
How dare you?
He doesn't have. I'm sorry. He's no Taters. You know, like he doesn't have that much charisma to him. Like neither of them. J-Lo I like too, but like for like a comedy adventure, I'm just like I don't see much like the beautiful thing of Lost City was fucking Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. I was like, oh, I want them to marry each other in real life after this. They're perfect together.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I don't see that. I just don't see it.
J-Lo's never like fit with any of the guys that I feel like that they try to put her with on screen. Like I've never been like, oh yeah, Owen Wilson and her, or like, oh yeah, Matthew McConaughey or Ralph Fiennes. Like it just never seemed like the right match for her. And like this is like to win a date with Tad Hamilton. Like I don't see that. What's weird about this trailer though is it introduces very early in the trailer that or in this wedding concept, right? This couple's having a resort wedding. Jennifer Coolidge is the mother-in-law to Josh Jamal. I guess it works out. We did the math. So, like, Josh Jamal's a little bit younger than J-Lo. So if Jennifer Coolidge had a kid at 11 because she couldn't get an abortion in the state of Ohio or something, then she could have this could technically work.
It's bleak, but yeah.
Sure,
right.
no, I'm glad we cracked this case.
Yeah, so that kind of works. But then they're having this resort wedding, and then her boyfriend comes in, like J-Lo's ex-boyfriend, and it looks like Lenny Kravitz, but it might not be Lenny Kravitz. And he comes in on this helicopter, and everyone's like, what is he doing here? And she's like, I don't know. And then the next thing they know, their wedding is being taken over by guys in Slipknot masks. And
the movie does this thing where it's like, oh, that's the plot. Rich ex-boyfriend. Okay, got it. And then that's not actually the plot. And I'm guessing that the ex-boyfriend is why the people are coming into the wedding, because he's like important. They're kidnapping him or whatever. That's all well and good, but as people pointed out, the trailer really fucking blindsides you with that. And the part of the reason why is because I think tonally this film also, or rather this trailer, is all over the fucking place. Like later, the mother-in-law is like killing people too. Yeah. And like, it's just like, I don't know, man. Like this feels more like broad comedy than adventure romance. Does that make sense?
Yes. And I think that's actually the tone that I got from it. I didn't have a tonal problem with the trailer. I just think I agree that none of the beats in the trailer land. Like the concept is fun, and the movie looks like some of these sequences should be fun. Like I love the idea of this trailer. I love the idea of a destination wedding. Pirates show up to kidnap her ex-boyfriend, and suddenly it becomes Die Hard, except with a newlywed couple. That's fun. Yeah. But like you said, there's just something. It's either the pairing, or I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with the last minute replacement of the male lead.
Right.
But none of the beats are really landing in the trailer, except for Jennifer Coolidge's stuff lands because she's Jennifer Coolidge.
It's just like,
she's funny.
It's just her doing White Lotus, but she's got a gun.
Exactly.
I'm into
it. It's just White Lotus again.
But
I think. I know. I think you're right that it is probably written as a broad comedy, and I think that's problem number one. Is like, you should have made this more like a Die Hard. More like, you should have leaned on the action side of it more than the comedy side, because it just feels cartoony otherwise.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
True Lies, if you will.
I think it doesn't work for like...
True Lies would have been... Yeah, that's the
True Lies
tone.
Is a good example. Yeah. Where it's like... And it's that idea of like... It doesn't feel like quite a comedy. It doesn't feel like quite an adventure. And it doesn't feel like quite a romance either. So I feel like it's going to half-ass all of those things. Again, this is going completely off what the trailer wants us to see, you know?
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's surprisingly dark. You know, maybe they did nail it, but that's sort of my fear of this.
I will say that as the trailer progresses, it's certainly more violent than I was expecting. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's coming to Prime, so I'll probably watch it because I do. The premise appeals to me, and I like these two actors. It just doesn't seem like they're really vibing, at least in the trailer. Yeah. But we'll see. I don't know.
I mean,
if they. What's that?
I was gonna say, like, it reminds me. Sorry, I kind of trailed off for a second. It kind of reminds me of 6 Days, 7 Nights. Remember, like that?
A little bit, yeah.
Kind of got that vibe of like, I mean, not only are they just in for the paycheck, but this like doesn't. This one makes sense in a fictional world. It doesn't make sense like in a like that. They're nothing about their chemistry. It also kind of reminded me of that. I guess a little less so, but like that Julia Roberts, George Clooney, couple going to ruin their daughter's wedding that we did live.
Oh yeah, where they just play terrible people. Yeah.
That's in theaters right now. What the hell is that called?
I don't know. It kind of almost seems like it seems like a setup for the next installment of Fantasy Island, the movie.
Yeah, man,
you brought 6 Days, 7 Nights screaming back into my. That is not a good movie.
No,
Oof.
Isn't that
That's Harrison Ford and Anne Heche.
It is. Okay. That's, man.
It was, yeah, I mean, it just wasn't
I'm going
to
watch that. No, it just wasn't good.
It just wasn't good. It was them going for Romancing the Stone in the late 90s, but yeah.
God bless Schwimmer. Yeah. God bless Schwimmer for playing the cuck in that movie.
I had no memory of him in that film.
I gotta watch that movie. Immediately.
It was one of the free DVDs I got with my first DVD player.
Oh no!
6 Days, 7 Nights.
It has that energy.
Yeah.
It has comes with DVD player energy.
It has
Amazing.
1 of 5 free DVDs vibes.
Got big scholastic book like energy.
But yeah,
I think that was the movie where Harrison Ford debuted the earring. I think.
Yep.
Anyway.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But this, I don't know. I don't know if I'll see this. If they kept Armie Hammer, he could have been eating everybody like Kirby throughout.
Nom.
Just being a real monster.
Yeah,
I like it.
I get why they didn't.
You understand why they didn't keep
the weird guy with the cannibal fetish.
Extremely troubling allegations in the film.
I want to know.
I see.
I want to know what the Slipknot masks are about. Like, why?
Just being cool. I don't know.
Is that
maybe it's Slipknot? Maybe it's the band.
Oh, if
Slipknot.
it's the band Slipknot, now we got a movie.
That'd be very.
Now
cool.
we got a movie.
That would be very
They're
cool.
mad. They're mad that they didn't get hired to play the wedding.
If this is actually season 3 of White Lotus, I'd also be very happy.
Sure. Should we talk about this next one?
Sure.
This next one's called Emancipation. It's coming out on Apple TV. I've seen. First of all, I think this looks good, but I've been seeing some like spicy takes of people like, will Smith get the nomination because of the slap? And I'm like, can we wait till
see the movie
comes
first?
out?
Yeah, I've seen the same thing. There's been stories around. It's like, well, Academy members say they're not sure whether or not they'll vote for Will Smith for Emancipation. It's like we haven't fucking seen the movie yet.
But it's so. What bugs me about that is it really gives away the game.
It gives away the game 100%.
Are well fixed. Like they're not. Yeah, it's just. Oh yeah, we're supposed to like these movies, and
it's
we're
like
gonna.
They're voting for the idea of something rather than its actual quality. Anyway,
meanwhile, RRR is campaigning, and it's like, yeah, give it to RRR. Let RRR sweep
every
the
award.
Oscars.
Yes.
Yeah. This is
if it doesn't win at least best song, I will fight someone. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't get it. Like first of all, I didn't realize that was this Will Smith thing. So it took me like pretty late into this trailer to be like, oh shit, is this the Will Smith thing?
It is.
It is. And then like, okay, I had already seen the news that he's gone back, he's made a public appearance and done the whole thing, but I'm like, I don't know what exactly this is going to be.
This appears to be about a slave during the Civil War who's traveling.
Okay.
That's the most the trailer gives us, right?
Well, it's they
traveling. I assume for his freedom.
They
his life.
They hear about Lincoln announcing the Emancipation Proclamation, so he's trying to make his way north.
Yeah,
it's like an action-y thing, I guess.
It's directed by Antoine Fuqua.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it does kind of look good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think this is gonna be quite.
It looks good. I mean,
yeah.
I
don't even know if it's gonna be like a drama. I think Will Smith will be great in it.
It looks kind of actiony, honestly.
It's gonna be like The Harder They Fall,
does.
which is my favorite movie of last year. One of my favorites.
I didn't.
Oh
see
my
that.
God, really? Oh, what's his name? The
Fucking
new Kang.
everyone is in it.
Oh, well, it's got the new Kang bad guy.
Oh shit! I just blanked on his name.
Something iron, something strong. Oh gosh, kill me. What is it? Yeah, the guy who's playing Kang the Conqueror.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors.
That movie is so good. That movie, go watch it immediately. It's amazing.
I'll go watch it. Yeah. But yeah, I am excited for this. This looks pretty fucking intense. I don't know what else to say about it. Honestly,
I like the look of it, which I didn't think I would, because it's one of those extremely, post-production color correction type things where it almost looks black and white, but it's not quite.
Yeah, I do like that because it's like, yeah, I like the black and white look. It's pretty much black and white.
Yeah,
I would say.
Is he doing a voice in this one? What is it?
Sure
what
is.
is the voice?
It's an African accent, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Okay. I was just, when I didn't know it was Will Smith, I guess, he did a really good job immersing himself in this role. I just, did not know who that was.
Yeah, I couldn't, if I didn't already know that it was Will Smith, I wouldn't have been able to guess.
Yeah.
Right. Here's the thing. Who gives a shit about the Oscars? I'm not like, so many actors have done so many terrible things.
Right.
That Will Smith slapping a man has just not really been on my radar. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Where this whole thing of like, oh, is this disgrace? And it's like, motherfucker, Mel Gibson's still making movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. And also, like, it's fine. It's fine. I know there's a conversation to be had about comedy and so on and so forth. But in terms of like this weird outrage, it's like, I don't give a shit.
What?
But like, how funny would it be if he was not allowed?
Sorry, what it boils down to is two millionaires got into a slap fight in their public party,
right.
like their televised
Well, and also,
party.
like,
So it's like
at their trade show.
He's
I
been
don't
kicked
care.
out. He's kicked out of the academy. Like, what more do you want? Like, he's
Right.
kicked out.
I think he actually resigned, but yeah.
Yeah, but he's not allowed back in.
And again, it's just so underwhelming.
Yeah.
I like Chris Rock and I like Will Smith.
Yeah.
I hope they hash it out personally and figure it out. But I also don't know them, and as you said, they're both millionaires.
Yeah.
What I was getting at is how funny would it be if he's just like banned from the Oscars and for the next 5 years is just giving the best performances of his career one after another, and they just ignore them.
Yeah,
like that would be fun.
They have to still give it to
like,
him. They still have to, but he has to get someone else. Jada has to accept on his behalf or something.
Yeah, or I do like the idea that they keep giving it to him, and every Oscars he slaps someone else every time, they're just like, "Well, we can't do anything. He's putting in these great performances."
It becomes the game: is who's he gonna slap?
Yeah,
this
who's
year?
he gonna slap? This
just
year?
slaps the shit out of Billy Crystal.
It's like the level that Shia wants to ascend to, and a couple others where it's just sort of like we're so good. And Miles Teller, maybe it's like I'm so good at acting that like nothing I can do can like possibly like stick on me.
I mean, there's a bit of a difference between Shia and Miles Teller.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what I mean, though? Like, that you can behave, like, kind of shitty outside of it, but, like, we're going to keep hiring you.
Right.
Like, I guess Miles Teller would be the better example.
Yeah, because he's just kind of a douche, but he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah. But, yeah, this looks good.
Yeah.
Should we talk about this cabinet, this furniture movie?
Yeah.
The Cabinet of Curiosities. Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. I love that this entire trailer is just the weirdo actors in like shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like Tim Blake Nelson.
Yeah, and Crispin Glover's in there.
Yeah.
Did I not?
Of course he's in
there.
everyone's
in this.
Yeah.
This is
everyone.
This is like a Drew, somebody did like a sample, like a marketing study of like what Drew would like to see, like people she would like to see in one room. Doing some scary stuff, and I was like, okay, let's just get it for her. Like, we got Dan Steve. At one point, I was like, I bet Dan Stevens is gonna show up, and then he immediately showed up.
And he fucking does.
Right,
his face whips up into frame.
Yeah.
There he is.
There's my boy.
This is what I have to commend Guillermo del Toro for this, and I do think we're getting more of this with horror. But do you remember, this was more in the 90s and 2000s. Thinking about in the 70s how horror used to be a genre that credible directors and actors would do.
Yes.
Like, not to start out, but to just do, like The Shining or The Omen, where it's like you got fucking Gregory Peck there doing a horror movie. And then we lost that. We lost it for so long. The idea that horror could be this thing that a respectable big actor could do, it just became, we're going to have a 20-something start their career this way.
Yeah, I think...
For the longest time.
I think the reemergence of the slasher genre, and specifically the teen slasher genre, probably had a lot to do with that.
Absolutely. But, like, horror movie became... Like, when people talk about the concept of elevated horror, and they always mean, like, oh, it has a bigger message... I like that it's also now meaning like just horror is it's more respected. It feels like now, and it was once, and now it feels like it is again. Like just to watch movies, I don't know, to watch this trailer and see who's in it, and it's just like fuck yeah, like this has actors, this has talented people in it.
And to clarify, just real quick to clarify for the listeners who may not have seen the trailer yet, the Cabinet of Curiosities is going to be a mini series of 8 short films that are going to be released over a couple of days on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to push back
all from different filmmakers, I believe. Okay,
I do want to push back a little bit on this. Like, I don't think Hollywood's ever taken like horror that seriously. There might have been like some exceptions, like to the thriller kind of like the Alfred Hitchcocks, if you will. Some of like the De Palma stuff, but we've never really taken like horror. We don't give horror Academy Awards. There have been like outliers to it.
Oh, absolutely not. But we used to at least have, like, again, we used to have actors and directors commit to making horror movies late in their career.
Yeah, that's true.
And like it was, and I'm not saying there was still actors who did that throughout, but there was like this dip where horror movies were, and partially it has to do with the horror movies weren't very good, I think, during that time too. But watching a horror anthology of all things, to have all these actors in it, I don't know. And again, there's always been a little bit of this. I mean, I always think of Tom. Is it Cat's Eyes, the one with Luke Skywalker?
No, that's Body Bags.
Body Bags? Yeah, shit like Body Bags. Mm-hmm. Or I mean, Cat's Eye, is that the one with? What's the one with fucking Leslie Nielsen burying?
No, that's Creep
Show.
I want to say Ted Danson.
Creep
Show. Yeah, like we did do anthology series where you're like, I can't believe that actor's in it. Mm-hmm. But it's just few and far in between. And I'm mainly talking about 90s to like mid 2000s. Yeah. Was a real like dip in horror where no one was really touching it, and it was all kind of crap.
Yeah,
and it's just nice to see it come back in such a, I don't know.
Yeah, and
such a wonderful way.
It didn't, like Jaws, The Exorcist, The Omen didn't win big, but all those movies were nominated for Oscars. Like Exorcist got nominated for 10 Oscars.
Can I posit so that it might not be so much horror versus like, this or like high horror or elevated horror? I think it's the difference between television or like the streaming medium and film. Like, I think that's a little bit a part of it too. Like, we've been able to tell like,
for sure,
these Stranger Things.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's been that incredible Channel Zero show. I mean, we've just been able to write whatever Ryan Murphy's arguably been able to achieve. However you want to look at it, but like, there's been some groundbreaking horror that's been able to do long form and like specifically seasonal anthologies on television that just like Nick Iacosta's stuff. Like, there's just been great horror that's been like in the form of streaming, whether that's like one-offs or one-off series or like things that just keep resetting. But I think that to me is like the bigger thing, and watching the actors kind of come over, even like True Detective season 1, even though that's not quite horror, but watching like the McConaughey and like, these A-list actors come over to TV and do these like creative.
It's been a delight.
Yeah, it's been great.
I won't rest though. And until I see Daniel Day-Lewis in a VHS.
Oh my God.
That's what I want. Can you imagine? And it all, like the entire plot of the VHS could just be that they run into Daniel Day-Lewis.
Right.
And he's just intense.
That would be a white knuckle experience.
It really would
David,
be.
I'm not sure if you know this. Have you seen not the most recent one, the one right before the 1991 or whatever? They've gotten very good. There's that
Wait,
are you talking about
all Viral?
Oh, all of them? Yeah, I haven't seen the newest one yet, but like that 1991 one was pretty good.
1990, VHS 90. That one's great. 94. And then 99 is coming out soon, and I'm so fucking excited for that.
Daniel Day-Lewis should show up. Like, or at least Jeremy Irons.
He should.
Or somebody.
At least. If you can't get
At
Daniel Day-Lewis,
least
at
Jeremy
least Jeremy Irons. Yeah.
The other Daniel Day.
Hard agree.
But wait, let's go through the cat.
He's a Pokemon variation of Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're interchangeable. If you can't get one, you can get the other for a thing. And Daniel Day is not going to be available. Just get Jeremy Irons. I want to go through the cast list of this a little bit, if that's a thing. We have Tim Blake Nelson, Go for Everett. That's great. We have Dan Stevens, my boo. I'm just trying to vamp while I get. Let's see, Andrew Lincoln. Rupert Grint, who I think I last saw on The Servant doing an amazing, I'm not being sarcastic, an amazing Paul Giamatti on Sideways impression.
I love that Rupert is coming back he's in that M. Night movie too. I want to see more Rupert.
Yeah. Get Ron Weasley in there.
Because he's made it real weird. He's like, okay, I'm not going to be attractive. I guess that's my lot in life. But I'm still riding on some fame. And he's becoming one of those good actors.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to see who else I recognize on this.
Gina Davis.
Do you recognize Gina Davis? Yeah. Peter Weller.
Yeah.
Peter Weller's in this. F. Murray, my boy. My mom used to date him, and she broke up with him because she thought that he wasn't going anywhere after all. He could only book an Amex commercial, for his career.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
if she sees him again, she should be like, I told you weren't going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And just,
She must have been so
throw his
mad.
Oscar in the trash.
Yeah.
The irony of watching him in Amadeus and realizing that's what you missed up. That's what you passed up. That's real good. Let's see. I'm trying to see who else we got here. We got some of the directors are great. Not great. Well, we got Catherine Hardwicke. I mean, by great, I mean recognizable. We got Vincenzo Natali. Now that's great. That's the Cube director, guys. That's the director of Cube.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I think isn't Jennifer Kent doing one, or is she doing one for VHS? Okay,
she's doing one.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Okay, I'm done trying to read the rest of these. So
that's fine. That's fine. For listeners,
Jennifer
Kent made the Babadook. Sorry.
Yeah. The director of The Empty Man is doing one.
Nice.
Yeah. No, this is going to be... It's Guillermo del Toro. If he wants you to direct something, one of his cinematographers is doing a one. I'm just quickly clicking on the names. Yeah, director of Cube.
Oh, A Girl Walks Home at Night. The Iranian. Yeah, no, that's great. That's great.
Yep. Director of Lords of Dogtown and Twilight.
Yeah, that's the thing. Catherine Hardwicke.
Yeah, that's Catherine Hardwicke.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm honestly, that's a really good lineup. But you had me at Vincenzo Natali.
Yeah, we skipped the director of Mandy is doing one.
Wait, where? Oh, Panos Cosmatos. Yes. So
yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
This show is gonna be sweet.
Yeah, this is gonna be so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do not fucking miss out on this one.
Oh my god. DJ Qualls is in it?
Yeah, damn right he is.
Oh man.
Hell yeah, DJ Qualls.
Love seeing him get work.
Yeah, don't we all? Let's talk about Reymond and Ray.
Sure.
These two guys, they need work too, right?
Yeah,
it's
man.
Ewan and Hawke.
Mm-hmm.
Ewan
Yes.
and the Hawke. This looks fun.
I mean, fun is a weird way to describe it, but it does look good. It's Ethan Hawke and Ewan McGregor. They're estranged brothers. Their shitty father has just died, and it's forcing them to come together and reconcile their differences and heal past wounds, etc., etc.
It's the corrections. It's like the corrections show that Ewan never got to make. He was halfway through filming the what's his name? That guy who loves birds, that author, the corrections dude. Anyway. Yeah,
sure.
But he never got to make that movie. It was a big deal when it flopped at HBO. Like, the whole deal fell through, and they were halfway through filming. Not Jonathan Safran Foer's, Jonathan, whatever. This feels like the kind of thing where Ewan McGregor, when he does an American accent, he has to sound like such a pussy, and I don't know why. I don't get it. He sounds so great.
It's his only American accent.
I loved him in Fargo. I love him in, in Dr. Sleep and all the movies he does.
The only American voice he can do is Wounded.
Yeah, exactly. But then you hear him in Obi-Wan and you're like, oh, that sounds just like Alec Guinness. that's amazing. And then you're like, why is this what you think we sound like? This is the emasculated American male? Oh no. And then Ethan Hawke, you can't go wrong. I mean, that guy.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah. It gives off the Martin McDonagh vibes, or even The Judge is my favorite genre of adult drama, which is a little quirky, funny, little fucked up drama.
Death.
where it's like it's morbid, very morbid. So I'm just so into watching Ethan Hawke and fucking Ewan McGregor play brothers who are fighting. Like that's.
Well, also that I like the idea that, like, I don't know if you guys get this from him. I feel like I might be alone in this, but I feel like Ethan Hawke, great performance. Like, he never turns in a bad performance. I think you guys said recently, and I agree.
Yeah,
seems like he'd be so much to handle in real life. Like, he seems like he is. He seems like
seems like a lot.
He seems like so much. Like, and I'm a lot to deal with. So game recognized game, but like. It seems like I once read a quote from him where he's like, people don't think poetry is as important as breathing air or eating food. That's like because they haven't seen like a loved one die and needed to like fill their mind with the like words and art that like, oh my God, it was so bad. It was such a terrible, and he was so earnest. Like it is like he's that Moon Knight character. He's just so earnest.
I would argue every actor and every actress is a lot to know in real life. Every single one of them. They're all a pain in the ass. That's my guess. Is every single one of them wants to like does spontaneous stuff or like is just like an emotional wreck. Like every single across the board, they're all just a bit much. Yeah. And that's just how it is. I guess
it's maybe it's the pseudo philosophical. It's that kind of almost like, I don't want to say pretentious, but it does kind of seem like that kind of like art pretentious thing that he's doing. Yeah. That rubs me the wrong way.
I always think about, I remember it was, I think the making of Lincoln on the subject of Daniel Day-Lewis. He wouldn't like text and he wouldn't like, he did the method Lincoln. And I remember an interview saying that it drove his wife nuts. And then it dawned on me, he has a wife. Yeah. And it was like, oh my God, that poor woman.
I had read that he would text, but he stayed in character. Like he would answer his text as Lincoln. Oh, God. Yeah.
He's like, what is this machine?
His wife is just like
it'd be calling Sally Field Mary Todd in their texts.
Oh, Christ.
So look.
Yeah, or like on My Left Foot, where like his agent apparently stormed off the set because he kept acting paralyzed. Yeah. And the agent was like, I just need to talk to you, man. Like just cut the shit.
Cut the fucking shit, Dan.
My most popular article, I think, at Collider that I ever did was like 40 times method acting took it too far. But of course, it wasn't really method acting. It's just like times that like celebrities acted like jerks and got like too into their character. Right. Not quite the Lee Strasberg method or anything, or Stella Adler. Yeah. But I think that like what it is one time I read this book. Jason Blum does a lot of things besides horror movies. He also does horror book anthologies. Which I actually think it's a cool idea. He like gives emerging authors like a place to do short horror collections, and in one of them, he gave some space to Ethan Hawke to write a short horror story. And instead of doing that assignment, what Ethan Hawke turned in was a story about how one time he was in New York City in Times Square with his friend when he was really young, and they were like walking in pre-Giuliani Times Square, and a guy came up and slashed his friend's face. Like, and his friend was like a model and like another actor, and he had to take him to the ER, and it was like scary and bad, and like Ethan Hawke just kept being like, yeah, I mean, that was just it. That was the end of his like his modeling career or whatever, but also just like that was so scary for me to experience, and that's like he's like, and they turned that in.
It's like a real life horror movie. Yeah, man.
And they just turned that in as his homework assignment, and I was like, that's not the assignment. The assignment was write a scary Jason Blum story, not like the time your friend's face got slashed, which isn't even a story about you.
Give us some ghosts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
that's such an Ethan Hawke. That's such an actor thing to do.
It is pretty spooky, though.
It is pretty spooky. He also wrote it like poem, like it was like a beat poem kind of thing, whereas like it very much felt like a Jack Kerouac on the road. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's a lot.
So anyway, Reymond and Ray.
Looks good.
Looks good.
It does look good.
And by the way,
it looks quite good.
Greatest person ever. She seems wonderful. I want Maya Hawke to be in everything.
Oh yeah. She's great. All right. Well, what do you guys think of this next one? Manifest West. This is only on here because of Tim Heidecker.
Because there's a creepy ass Tim Heidecker in it. This is Ruby Ridge the movie.
I thought it was Ozark the movie. I mean,
sure. Either way, I'm gonna have to watch it just to watch Tim Heidecker be fucking serious.
What a turn!
That's so funny.
What a twist! I was like, "Why are we watching this?" I was like, "What is going on here?" And then Tim Heidecker shows up, and I was like, "Oh, is this? Oh, I'm a big Tim head. I'm not sure if you guys know that about me. Yeah. I'm an on cinema
A TED.
TED. I'm subscribed to my On Cinema account. I pay like $60 a year. I'm subscribed to his Patreon. Everything that he does that's like long form, like wait for the payoff for 8 years for his weird comedy shit, I am here for. So like if he appears in something, then I have to believe it's like for a higher purpose than even appearing in just a singular movie. It's all part of a meta joke narrative that he has about the character of Tim Heidecker, which I'm saying out loud sounds very pretentious as well. But yeah, it sounds it looks great. He's actually a good actor. He's like a really good actor.
Yeah, I am all for the Tim Heidecker, like, serious Adam Sandler era. Like, I want that so bad. This is, for people who don't know, this is about, like, a little girl. It's from the girl's perspective of her parents, like, bringing her out into the woods to, like, survive off the land. And then, like, I think they want to take her away, the government, and they fight back. Like you said, it's a Ruby Ridge situation. And Tim Heidecker is, like, one of their neighbors.
Yeah.
Who's also, like, a creepy outdoorsman.
I think he's a prepper. I think he's like going to be one of these like crazy preppers.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah. No, this is not thinly veiled Ruby Ridge, to the point where if Tim Heidecker weren't in this trailer, I would assume this was a Daily Wire movie.
What is that? What is Ruby Ridge? I'm not sure if I know that.
That was just the broad strokes are it was sort of like a precursor to Waco. It was basically that thing. Okay, yeah. It was I think it was the ATF. Anyway, they shot up a dude in his family in his house for a very similar situation.
Oh, I think that Heidecker is going to turn out to be the instigator, the bad guy in this. That he's going to exasperate whatever problems are going to. I don't think he's going to be like the heroic neighbor in this. I think he's going to be like turn out to be a meth like dealer or something like.
I do not believe he will be a good guy in this. They're not presenting him as one.
And it's time for him to do something like that. I'm not sure if you guys saw like his, what is it called? The Comedian, his movie, his full-length feature movie that is very dark and like not really funny in the way that you think it's going to be funny. And it's, he's got layers, man. And I loved him in Us, man. I think that was one of the best parts of Us. He
was great. Yeah, that was a little more comedic, but he was great in it.
He was great in it. His whole mannerisms were very, like, again, just, like, not saying that he's the best actor of all time, but he really nailed Jack Nicholson impression in that movie. It was just, like, his physicality.
Yeah. I just remember, like, I think I learned he was in Us in the credits. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I just remember that moment of, like, oh, my.
Yeah, his name popped up on screen. It was a real shock.
Really?
Yeah. It's great. He's a delight. Every time he's in something, it's a delight.
But yeah, it's interesting that like this movie, which is, it bills itself as a coming of age story told through this like intense thriller standoff with the government. It could go either way, right? Like I said, like seeing this trailer, until Tim Heidecker showed up, I was like, is this a Daily Wire movie?
Right.
Like, is this... What kind of propaganda is this movie?
Is it possible that this is a super, like a superpower something movie? Because like there's something about the way that it's the reason they're on the run is from the girl did something. She did something that was like murder or outside, like the little girl. Like that's what it made seem like.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So
I
like
want to.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping this will be like, God, no one's seen this movie but me, and I told Robert Evans he has to watch it. A few people have to watch it. The Standoff at Sparrow Creek. It's an indie film. It was from 2018.
Back,
The plot is this: a militia in Oregon meets in the evening in their warehouse, like in their militia headquarters, because a shooting happened at a police funeral that day, and one of their guns is missing. And it's basically this militia of like 5 or 6 people sitting around in the warehouse being like, which one of you did it? And they start interrogating each other. Like some of them are ex-military, so there's like torture involved. They think they know who it is, and it falls apart. And that's all I'm going to say, because it goes in a place that's very interesting. And ultimately, it's not like militias are good, and it's not like militias are badness. Well, no, there's definitely a malicious or bad message in it, but it's a lot more gray area than you expect it to be, and nuanced. Yeah. And I'm hoping that's what this is.
I'm not reading the malicious stuff as much. I feel like this is a single family on the run, and there's a single crate. Like, because I thought they were doing almost like a Captain Fantastic thing at the beginning where they're just like kind of doing their own like living off the grid, or like that Ben Foster and his kid movie where the government comes in and they play a part of like trying to take the kid away. I feel like the real thing is it all turns on the Tim Heidecker creepy neighbor trying to take a stand, but I don't think there's I don't think there's a militia. I don't think there's anyone else backing him. I don't think there's anyone else out there. I think it.
No, but I just mean in the sense that this is about a specific type that is not seen positively, and it feels like I'm just hoping it's a nuanced look at that,
right?
You know,
I'm excited. Do we know anything else this guy's done? The director?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Wrote for the Daily Wire. Okay, that's not good. No, just kidding.
That would have been
Ben
amazing.
Shapiro's Hype Man. Okay, not great.
Yeah.
No, it could. I mean, obviously, fuck the DEA and the government and everything.
Yeah.
So this movie could be totally fine. It was just as the trailer was playing out, I was like, "Be cool, movie."
Yeah.
Be cool.
Well, it's also like, is it child
sure.
services? It's just child services, right? So
at first, yeah.
Okay.
At first.
And then they build it up. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, I must have missed that part.
Yeah, it escalates.
So maybe I was like, maybe it's the best case hunt for the wilder people kind of situation, but not if it escalates.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Not if it escalates.
I mean, maybe.
No,
I don't know.
escalate.
It could be, like Dave said, hopefully it's more nuanced. And the fact that Tim Heidecker's there makes me think, well, it probably is, right?
We're in his hands. We're in
To be
his
honest,
hands.
didn't hate the Waco show. Didn't hate it.
The Waco show
didn't
was
see
good.
it.
The Waco show was good.
I need
It's
to watch
because
that.
it's Michael Shannon was like the head guy on it, and he just invited all his Boardwalk Empire buddies to be in it. And then Taylor Kitsch,
That sounds
Taylor
great.
Kitsch just didn't fuck it up. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's a great way of framing that.
Taylor Kitsch didn't fuck it up.
He just, he did his best.
I thought he did pretty well.
He did pretty
on
good.
that show.
It was a pretty good show.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Manifest West.
Final trailer. The internet was blowing up over this Violent Night. This is Santa Claus action film, David Harbour. I want to say
Johnny Legs trying to steal Christmas.
Yeah.
John Leguizamo.
Oh yeah, Johnny Legs.
Here's what you might interpret this as either a hit against it or towards it, depending on who you are. This is from the writer-director of Dead Snow and Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
Okay. Whoa.
And I would say my biggest issue with this movie is that this looks like fun. I think it thinks it's more outrageous than it is. Does that make sense? It wants to be a meme. It wants everybody to go, "Oh my God, look at this! This is wild. This is like the fucking I think you should leave."
Yeah,
sketch.
oh my God, it is the I think you should leave sketch.
And I think that that's what they're. It's sort of like the Winnie the Pooh thing, but better. Where it's like they want to become a meme, right? Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters was a meme. It was like, look at how silly and wild this is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
to a degree, that went harder in a Van Helsing direction. Like they were seriously trying to make that a franchise.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is the movie itself isn't that bad. I liked the practical effects in that movie. So that's what I'm saying is that I think the marketing of this is going to be more irritating, I guess, than the movie itself.
I liked it. I liked the marketing. I was like, oh shit, it's like John Wick, but like Die Hard, but for Santa. And I was like, wait, that involves so many rules. Can he die? Is it like what's going on here? And like the relationship he clearly has one of those "Don't Breathe" 2 relationships with that little girl. Like that's just beyond. It's like he has some sort of special connection to her. It feels like very I don't know. It's not like going to be like Krampus.
That was a strange comparison.
What? Whoa, which one?
Don't
by
breathe
the way,
too.
Sorry, it's not the director, or it's not the writer of those. It's the writers of Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2.
That's what I remember.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
It's the director of the other one.
Witch Hunters.
Huh.
I really liked Dead Snow. And
I never saw it.
Oh, it's good.
Okay,
I'm glad
good.
It's pretty.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's pretty over the top, in a way that you would expect.
Did you get?
Do you want to hear? It's not quite a spoiler, but I looked on the IMDb, and a character is playing somebody that you might not expect to be in this movie.
Mr. Bunny. Jesus.
You're on the right
Jack
track.
Skellington.
Krampus.
I knew he was going to be
is credited.
I've already said Krampus. I already said that once this evening. I said Krampus.
Oh, okay.
I said this has a Krampus vibe to it. I knew Krampus was going to be involved because he's like, if this was Constantine, he'd be like their Satan. Like this guy's obviously like, like if this was Hellboy, like he's this guy is clearly Santa Claus, like as released from hell via Ghost Rider logic. And I like that about him. Like he's a grizzled. You're right. It's exactly. I think you should leave sketch. That's cosmic gumbo. It's perfect. But I think David Harbour. We've been talking about like the shows that don't do the movies that don't do the ironic nod and whatever. And I do appreciate that. I do think somehow sometimes sincerity, like overly sincere stuff, can kind of like bum me out too, though. So I do kind of like movies like this where David Harbour seems to be having a blast. It kind of feels like that Frankenstein, or like Frankenstein's monster Frankenstein thing that he did with Kate Berlin.
Yeah.
It wasn't the funniest thing in the world, but it was just like, oh, he wants to do comedy.
It was pretty funny.
It was pretty freaking funny. John Levinstein, I think, directed it. It was it's pretty funny. It's just more like, wow, David Harbour takes some swings, and I'm into it.
When I first saw him in the Stranger Things, I had a real like, where have you been all my life moment, because he was such a fucking schlub, and I'd love him for it.
Yeah,
I'd love him. And then he got swole, and I was like, ah, but he's still great.
And he married Lily Allen, and they met on like Raya.
Good for him.
For them.
Yeah. So like, I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for this film overall.
Yeah, I think
that the meme of it all kind of like the contrarian in me is like, gets upset for that stuff, because when people are like, oh my god, look how wild this is, and it's like, all right, calm down, it's a movie, you can make a movie about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it does look fun.
Like, what is he's just helping her because that was her this young girl makes a wish while her family's being taken hostage to be.
I think he happens to be, from judging from the trailer, he happens to be delivering presents to their house as Johnny Legs and his men take over.
Yeah, it's wrong place at the wrong time.
You've been on the naughty list. You've been on the nice list. I mean, but he's just doing it so well. Like, this plays out just exactly like a satire trailer. But
there's something to be said about, this is a commentary on, I guess, capitalism, because it rubs me the wrong way that it's a movie about Santa defending a rich family on Christmas. There's something
John
weird about that. Yeah. And so, like, I whatever. They need to figure out a plot for this to work, but it's very funny that that's what it came down to.
Right. No child whose parents have $300 million in a wall safe is going to be on the nice list.
Exactly. Nor are they going to need Santa to help them. Like, that's the thing.
Right.
It's just like,
they'd have a bunch of Blackwater dudes there as private security.
I think that the capitalism thing is very funny, but also the fact that Krampus is involved, I feel like it means that there's like some sort of supernatural hell layer to this. I feel like it's going to be a revenge Santa. It's not just like so it's kind of like Batman, I guess. He's just in it to help the wealthy. But I do like the idea that it's just like he is from hell and he gets to escape once a year. And Krampus shows up at some point. Like, this got some lore behind it beyond just like, cosmic gumbo.
I hope it does. It does feel like they're using every part of the Santa, if that makes sense. Glad. Like, he's using his magic bag to fight people. He puts the star on the tree in a guy's eye. Like, they're doing all the Santa stuff. And I appreciate that.
Just make him super, like, overpowered. Just make it so they, like, bullets can't touch him. Like, what would be Santa's weakness? Like, what does he not like?
Right. Water. It melts him.
Water melts him.
He can't cross running water. He's like vampire.
He can't wear white after Labor Day. I don't. Do a Hanukkah Harry is going to show up and.
I was about to say juice. Juice is his weakness. Like, they're the only ones who can defeat him. Socks. Yeah. I don't know.
The part where he has coal and he's like, I'm gonna give him coal, and then it turns out to be a grenade coal.
Grenade.
I was like, this movie knows what it's doing. It knows what it's doing because it's made by the Sonic guys. It knows what it's doing because it's made by the director who's directing it. It kind of might not as much, but at least the script will be on point.
It's doing all the things. The tagline is "You better watch out." Like, it's going to be filled with puns. What does he say? He gives a pun in the trailer.
Well, he gives several.
He gives several.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun though.
Into it.
Yeah.
That's it for trailers. Should we thank some more
Yay.
producers?
I think we should.
Yeah, thank you to Glitterous, CFO of Michael Shannon's Chocolate Factory. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Davey Francis 9. Davey Goes to Hell.
Thank you.
Thank you to Oh Great, It's That Guy. Thank you to Chester's Prophet. Thank you to Definitely Not Guillermo del Toro. Looking forward to your thing.
Yeah.
Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
Sure do.
Thank you to Bob Grenville.
Thank you.
Thank you to Steven.
Thank you.
Thank you to Han Toomey, the confused cyborg. Thank you.
All right, let me swoop in here. Thank you to Asking 7.
Thank you.
Thank you to Happy Ed 209.
Thank
you to Manischewitz Maltov says economic solidarity is the path to paradise, comrades.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tiger George Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Thank
you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thank you.
Thank you to Cody Johnson's Time Machine Noise.
Thank
you to Pete Warpagel.
Thank you.
Thank you to follow viral TikTok superstar Jason Pargin on TikTok and buy his new book. If this book exists, you're in the wrong universe.
Thank you.
Okay.
That one guy in the middle there kind of sounds like he could be like Kris Kringle's worst enemy.
Dan Hackroyd?
The one that was like capitalism something.
Oh yeah.
Manischewitz Maltov.
Maltov. That is the villain.
Molotov could take out Santa. He's covered in very
And
burnable
Manischewitz
things.
wine.
That's true.
Like, that's the Jew wine.
Yeah, you're right. It all works. Jamie Foxx's Spawn movie. I forgot he was.
The what?
He's been attached to it for a while.
Has
yeah.
has writers attached. Yeah, the writers. It's the writer of Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the writer of Joker.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god! Okay, go.
I mean, of all the things that needs to be really edgelord and serious, Spawn. So like, this is one of the times where I'm like, yeah, that works.
If I'm just like people to handle the nuance and subtle complexities of a black super villain or like anti-hero, not going to think of the Joker guy, and I'm not sure if I think
that's true.
I don't think Falcon and the Winter Soldier did I think it had a lot of speechifying and a lot of like gesturing, but I don't think that was a particularly nuanced look at anything either. Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, I have nothing at stake here for the Spawn movie. I'm glad Jamie Foxx is in it.
Yeah, I mean, Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn, has been threatening to make another Spawn movie for 20 years now. From what I understand, the big roadblock in the way is he had been insisting for a long, long time that he was going to direct it. He asked to direct it, but with these new writers getting on board, he seems to have relented somewhat.
Some sort of intervention happened.
Yeah.
Do you think, unless John Leguizamo is willing to eat maggots off screen as a way to get into method for his role, and I don't know how Jamie Foxx is going to top anything that happened in that original Bond.
Oh, he's just gonna
It's gonna be Spawn,
say cool shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be like
have
No
a
Way
giant
Home Spawn.
cape and chains.
Yeah.
Why
It's
not?
gonna be like, hey.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying about the writers, but also Spawn's not a nuanced character.
What's his deal? I think I get him confused with the other one.
He's like Scorpion. He was a soldier who died and made a deal with a version of the devil, and it came back to life. But he rejects evil and now kills people with his change for the forces of good.
I think I confused Spawn with this other character a lot. That not Michael J. Courtney. That somebody else.
You just combined two people.
Yeah, I think one of them is somebody that I confuse for Spawn a lot. But do not worry about it. I will figure it out later.
Cool.
Yeah, but someone else who comes back from the dead who's a superhero, anti-hero type who gets out, and it's not Ghost Rider. Somebody else. Anyway.
Scorpion.
I don't know. The Crow?
Maybe.
Scorpion?
Maybe Crow?
I don't know.
But I mean, you've also just described Spawn, so who knows?
Yeah. We could talk about this next news. This was bigger news on the internet, although I would say it's not actually news. Velma's gay from Scooby-Doo in the next movie, which I would argue she's always been gay.
That's always been the discussion.
Or at least bi.
Yeah.
Hannah pointed out she dates Shaggy in one of the movies, so that would make her, I guess, bi if we follow all that canon.
Or him a beard. I think that is much more likely that Shaggy is a beard.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to Hannah about this. We were pointing out that if you find yourself dating Shaggy, you might just be gay, and he's just because I mean Shaggy just cares about weed, right? Like he's not a sexual.
Well, he's got
being.
that relationship with the dog, which is weird.
Yeah, he's a dog fucker, but like, aren't we all? So, I don't know. This is as James Gunn pointed out, like he tried to make her gay in those live action movies, and then she was just slowly not gay. So it's about time,
Right. It's always been the fan discussion around this character. So it's like, 2022. It's like, okay, they're finally acknowledging it, I guess. So sure, whatever.
Well, yeah, I just always thought it was like, yeah, of course. It's a weird thing. So where I'm from, Western Mass, there's 5 colleges, and they are compared often to the Scooby-Doos because one of them is an all-girls school that's like known for feminism, Smith College.
Oh, Smith.
And known, and so Smithies, and so that's obviously Velma. There's Mount Holyoke, another all-girls school, but it's less associated with like feminism and all that, and that would be, of course, Daphne. And then there's the preppy Amherst College that's like rich preppy kids, and that's of course Fred. Then there's Mount Holyoke, the very hippie fucking stoner school, and so that's clearly Shaggy. And then there's UMass, the talking dog, and that just works. So like I don't know, it's always one of those things where it's I don't think this is news to anybody. Right?
No. There was this. Did you guys watch that weird trailer? It was a very weird trailer, or maybe the whole movie's out at this point. But it was like the live action Scooby-Doo pilot that these people like GoFundMe crowdfunded and had made.
No.
And it's
wow.
like done like in the style of Riverdale, except these people are like 40 because they've been working on this project for so long, and like there's like 1 million YouTube like views and like 1 billion comments, and all the comments are like uniformly positive because they've had some weird Scooby hive, and it's just so it's kind of like that Winnie the Pooh thing, but like way more weird.
Right.
This is clearly like filmed in somebody's Glendale backlot thing, but it's that to me is a much more interesting hook for what's going to be happening in the Scooby-Doo universe. So if they,
yeah. I mean, I am in terms of LGBTQ representation. Obviously, it's good to have more representation across the board, and it seems like a good place to start is characters who obviously were supposed to be, like gay.
That's
and
true.
It's like, let's make them actually gay for once.
Yeah.
So like, I like that about this, where it's like, finally,
just start putting it in the movies. They've made how many of these damn things? There's like 50 of these movies. This is one of the, to be clear, this is one of like the direct to DVD, direct to streaming animated movies that they put out like every other year.
again,
and I was just gonna say, from a financial point of view, this is probably the best move too, because they're like, hey, people are actually talking about our Scooby-Doo movie.
do you mind if I dovetail, or if I go on a tangent for 1 second because I found what this movie is, this other Scooby-Doo thing, or okay, it's called Mystery Inc. It's inspired by the popular animated series Scooby-Doo. Where Are You? This gritty fan film incarnation showcases the gang as young adult vigilantes. They live in a world where things go bump in the night, but only they know it, often surviving by the skin of their teeth. They're determined to put a stop to heinous crimes. Now, to be clear, this seems like a world in which like Shaggy is dealing heroin to people. There's just a lot going on here.
This is the Venture Brothers bit.
Yeah,
basically.
but it's dead serious.
Yeah.
Like you can tell, just the gritty vigilante young adults. I think it starts with Fred's parents getting murdered in some like horrific way.
Probably by Fred, right? He's one of the Menendez brothers.
I mean, maybe by Fred. There definitely seems to be like a cult in the town. I mean, they really are doing up something here. And I'm kind of like, now I'm reading it and I'm like, this kind of seems like my kind of thing. Yeah.
Nice. Did you guys I know this is a cliche, but I finally, as a teenager, I got Scooby-Doo in the sense that Adult Swim used to play it late at night, and I used to get really high and watch it, and it was like, it clicked. Because it's like, of course. That's how you watch Scooby-Doo, like blazed out of your mind. And it's a lot of fun when you're really high watching Scooby-Doo.
I had a similar experience where I would get really high and watch Adult Swim shows and have a really good time, but they were the good ones. they were the actual funny ones.
Yeah.
So like Space Go, all that stuff. I never Scooby-Doo.
No, yeah, I did that too.
Cool, you did too.
I got blazed out of my fucking gourd and watched Space Ghost.
Smoked so many doobies and watched.
Oh yeah, fucking Fire Ant, the one with Conan O'Brien with an extra long intro, where you literally are like, am I high or is this going really long? It's like they know why they're
Bjork
doing it.
The episode where he's married to Bjork and Tom York's the guest is the
So
best
good.
one. Best one.
So good.
Knifing
around.
Cut. My entire personality was based on that one Space Ghost episode, I think. Yeah, that's cool.
It's very, very revealing. Very revealing.
Yeah, that checks out.
I think we can move on.
Mm-hmm. Let's thank some more producers. Thank you to Del Griffith, the shower curtain fella.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Midnight Patron with Patrons at Midnight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Exploding Runes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Andrew, the proud Satanist How.
Thank you.
Thank you to Vincent.
Thank you.
Thank you to Rev MD.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Bootler Bootleson.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tux. Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Thank you.
Thank you to Norm from Cheers. Thank you to Space McNulty.
Thank you. Let me jump in here. Thank you to your mom.
Thank you.
Thank you to Nolan's. Thank you to Nolan Tubi Star Harold Mayton.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew Drew Grant deserves more hype McGuire.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you to AJ.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tip Drizzle.
Thank you.
Thank you to Burrito Mouth.
Thank
you
you.
to the ghost of Dave Thomas.
Thank
you to Aaron Burser. Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparts Esquire. Thank you to Mackenzie Fuck Shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick Chill.
Yeah.
Thank you to Funky J.
Ooh.
And thank you to Pie Guy.
Thank you.
Can we go back for 1 second?
Oh.
What was that? What was that one in the middle there?
Oh, which one? The one where you deserve more hype?
Who's that? That's good.
That's Andrew Drew Grant deserves more hype McGuire.
Well, thank you. Just want to do my own personal one.
I'd like to call out our delightful patron producers. Dave. Listen, buddy, we're running a little long.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need you to go ahead and remove the shit. Cut it. Cut the shit.
I'm cutting it. I'm snipping it.
Cut the shit.
Snipping it.
And I'm gonna need you, now that you've done that, to let us know if you perhaps maybe have one movie that deserves more hype, but do you potentially have 2 movies that deserve more hype?
What?
I do, and I'm
Son
sorry.
of a bitch!
I gotta stop doing this where like I can just do this one, like one of them next week.
You could.
And then
could do that.
And then I'm done. And then I'm like done for this week and next week. But I want to talk about these both. This one is the first one is Nocebo. I believe that's how it's like placebo. I'm assuming it comes out November 4th, VOD on November 22nd. It is the director of what is it called?
Oh my god!
Which I didn't see.
Whoa, one. Did you like the movie Men? Because that's.
Ooh, I did like Men. This is like a reverse Mary Poppins. It's Eva Green and her husband Mark Strong, which is a terrifying couple.
You would just assume they were vampires. Anyway,
I thought it was Jeremy Strong.
This movie is listed as from the Philippines and Ireland. I don't know what that means, but there's they get a like a helper to come because Eva Green has like chronic pain or something like that. An illness, they say, that they don't quite, the doctors don't know what it is. And this woman comes in and uses folk magic to heal her, and then things slowly seem to go belly up. She seems to have like a stranglehold on the family because she's healing her, and I assume that means she can also unheal her. And the trailer just spirals.
It's actually interesting that this is like a joint Philippine production, because at first I was like, this seems like really like fetishizing and then demonizing like the idea of like other kinds of like health and wellness, techniques and other than Western medicine. But it might be, the trick might be, because she's really she's not anti the family, she's really anti Mark Strong. And I think the implication is...
I have a feeling they're aware of that implication or that look,
and I think it's going to be that Mark Strong... It seems like she went through a trauma, some sort of PTSD, and I think it's going to be like it's being rooted out that he's probably the problem, and he's like keeping it from her, and this woman's kind of revealing it and sort of standing up to him.
Oh, that's interesting. I like that idea.
Otherwise, it's very Hand That Rocks the Cradle, but with no baby kind of vibes. And I just feel like that's too gross in 2022 to try to put out.
No, yeah, I think you're right. I think there's something here, right? There's something creepy. There's no reviews, so I couldn't really get a feel for like, like maybe there's a bunch of reviews that are like, this is terrible,
Yeah.
But nobody, it seems like there aren't any reviews either way. Like I didn't find a single review. So I'm just going on the trailer and the premise. I'm like, this is worth checking out.
Well, if it's a joint Philippine production, I feel like they can't, they wouldn't want it to be like something that made them look totally awful, right? Like,
no, yeah. But who knows, who knows what they're doing. Like that's the trailer doesn't give us too much, which is good. So I'm super curious.
I really did think it was a better concept of a movie when I thought Jeremy Strong was the husband. I was like, yes, like bring this movie to me.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea, yeah, and it's all of the tidbits are there because the trailer does play like Sinister Mary Poppins, but like I hope
Mark Strong's the jerk.
Yeah, I hope it's more what you're suggesting because like my first read of this trailer is like this feels kind of racist. So
right.
Hopefully it's that other thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, all we do is seeing her heal and, like, help her, and then we see a couple of shots of her being like, I'm so confused, nothing, or what happened to my medicine? We don't know who took her medicine. We don't know, like, what happened in her past.
True,
like,
yeah.
It does seem like Mark Strong is, like, isn't he, like, moving her into a new house and being like, we're going to start all over? And the implication is something traumatic and awful happened to her. She can't do her art, and she's, like, can't be in public. I don't think that's the lady who hasn't shown up yet's fault. Just FYI. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it's sorry, that was I had the same reaction. That's why I looked into it, and it labels it a Filipino-Irish film. So it's just like, okay, well, that means at least like it's not one group othering another
it's not
group,
American,
right?
American xenophobia.
Yeah, exactly. So that means that like they have a little more awareness, but like I do think this is going to be a twisty-ass one, right? That's got to be it.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably why the trailer sort of plays like a Sinister Mary Poppins is because they don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super curious.
And I like that phrase.
No.
I mean, I like it as a concept, like the nocebo effect. Like, it's a real thing. It's a phenomena, like where you just think your body's being healed, and so like your brain gets better. They even have that line where they're like, she's like, well, if she thinks it's in her head, like I will get it out of her head and I will like keep the demons away. I mean, this woman's like very intense about like protecting the woman. She's like, I will get rid of any things. And I think that's like her commentary about like to the husband, like I will get you out of here.
Yeah. And it looks like the production company specifically deal with, like it says here, like socio-political and environmental issues. Like they're clearly like, yeah, we're not just going to put out a movie that isn't about something else, right? Good. And it looks like it apparently has a little bit of themes with consumerism, they say, exploitation, and the fashion industry, which is interesting because she's a fashion designer in the movie.
I'm psyched now. Okay, as long as this is the case, then yes, I'm psyched. As long as it's the case.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot to this. It sounds like, so that's interesting. I'm curious about this movie. Another movie, which probably isn't political at all, this movie called My Neighbor Adolf. It takes place in the 1960s in an unidentified South American country, and it's about a old man who survived the Holocaust who becomes convinced that his neighbor is in fact Hitler, which I get it because his neighbor is Udo Kier. So, you know.
Yeah, I love that it's Udo Kier just steering into it.
Yeah, his name is Mr. Herzog.
I've had to look up this guy's IMDb and figure out that he was in literally everything except what I thought he was in. This guy's like
really?
This guy is in every single movie. Yeah,
Wait, Udo Kier?
Kier? Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. He's in everything. Yeah. He's very intense.
I thought he was the guy from the beginning of Inglourious Bastards that was the French, the guy, the Frenchman, but no, he's not. He's in other Tarantino stuff.
Yeah. This, I don't know when this will be out. It's still in festivals, but I have a feeling this is one that's just going to pop up on VOD. I'm guessing it's not Hitler. That's my guess, because it seems like it's about trauma more than it's not trying to be this cheeky like Hitler movie. It's more about how this guy.
It is a little cheeky though.
It's a little cheeky
this
because
trailer is cheeky.
It's two old men being cheeky, and like he decides to investigate him, and clearly like starts becoming like a friend to him. It would be amazing if the reveal is that he is Hitler, and the end is just him, like them fighting and him killing Hitler. But this feels more like the man who killed Bigfoot and also Hitler, or whatever. Maybe Hitler.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's not about Hitler.
Or the death of Stalin.
And that's my guess.
Yeah, or
with
like
this.
the death of Stalin, or like one of those. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. It feels like one of the movies that like this guy collaborates like a lot on, like the Fassbender films, or like I don't think he's done anything with the guy who did Funny Games, like with Michael Haneke, but it feels like one of those. But it feels like a funny, it feels like a quirky guy friend, like an Alexander Payne version of a Michael Haneke film.
Yeah. This is probably going to watch two old people do delightful little, have tea and shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Grumpy old,
but I don't know. It looks interesting.
Fjords? Can we call it that?
Grumpy old Fjords.
I do like the line where she's like, she's like, she even has a dog with the same name, and she's like, that dog would be dead.
Right. Yeah.
It's there. All those scenes are fun where it's whoever this woman is that he's talking to. I assume she's probably a police inspector or some sort of government official. Is just pointing out all of the reasons why his neighbor can't possibly be Hitler.
Right.
Well, yeah. And she's like, did he have blue eyes? Didn't Hitler have brown eyes? This guy has very light blue eyes.
Yeah.
It looks good. It's quirky.
Yeah.
And I love Udo Kier.
I love seeing Udo Kier, and it's nice to see him play like it sounds like he steals the show in this one. Like it sounds like he's doing like a dramatic comedy role, and it's like I don't think Udo Kier gets to do that much.
Can I tell you guys something? I'm a little bit disappointed because I thought I was going to introduce you guys to who Udo Kier is. I was going to be like, this guy turns out was in a lot of movies. But
oh no, are you kidding me? He's in Suspiria.
Yeah. That's on me.
Yeah.
I've been knowing Udo. He's an Ace Ventura.
That's on me, dog.
He sure is.
He's got like a Rutger Hauer. What's his reputation? Like what's he known for doing?
He feels like shit. Who am I thinking of? The villain in Casino Royale.
Mads Mikkelsen?
Oh, Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, where it's like he's just living his best life. And like he every now and then he does like high profile villain roles, mostly villains.
Yeah, because
and then he goes off and does like some indie shit. And I bet he lives like a hobbit, you know? Like I bet he gardens and he just goes into town and drinks a pint and like just lives like the best life.
Oh god, he used to be super hot.
He hangs out with men.
Yeah, I mean, he was also in, by the way, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated.
There you go.
A lot of Batman episode, the animated Batman stuff. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And he was in the Batman. Man, I'm just finding out about this guy. Thank you.
He's one of those guys. He's like, I'm never going to be a Marvel hero. You know, I'm never going to be a leading man. I'm Udo Kier. I'm the creepy German guy, and that's what I'll be. And this is a job, and I hope he's happy wherever he is. I hope he's happy, and I'm hoping he's good to people.
Yeah, he looked
again.
He's just one of those. Also, he used to be really hot, so like that's a cool thing about him. Like he's
yeah.
That's a really cool tidbit about Udo
it's like
Kier.
watching those Hammer films, and you're like, oh my god, like that guy from Star Wars, Christopher Lee, and like all the rest of them. They used to be just bangable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, that Udo Kier was a snack back in the day.
Nom.
Yeah, they're all fuck meat. They're actors.
Yeah,
just fuck meat across the board. Yeah.
Just slabs of fuck meat.
Yeah.
So that's my Neighbor Adolf.
Yep.
Damn.
I think we landed on a good place.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a wild episode.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of which, that is a sode. We've done it.
Ooh.
Woo. Drew, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so much for having me, and then also just for allowing me to make up for my lost period. I did feel so bad when I couldn't make last week. I felt so bad.
It's fine.
Oh, it's fine. You're here
thank
now.
you for having me on. It's probably better having me on this week when I'm a little bit lower energy than usual because I've been a little bit under the weather. So this is Drew at an 8.
It is.
So
extremely funny that you claim to be low energy. Where can people follow you? What do you want to tell? What do you want to plug?
So yeah, I'm doing a couple things now. I'm still an editor over at the site.la, so check that out. It's like a tech blog about Los Angeles. Kind of doing that. I'm doing honest trailers now, so that's cool. So check out those. Yeah, I started with the Nope one. I had some of the best jokes in there, just FYI, in my opinion. But yeah, that was like the highlight of my life, so I'm just gonna be repping that forever. I did something that was in Fangoria's print issue, the last print issue of Fangoria that Tom actually like noticed before I did. On what's their names? Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson. The Something the Dirt guys will be directing season 2 of Loki. I'm just kind of all over the place these days, writing scripts. Yeah, writing scripts.
Hell
Yeah.
Write those scripts.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for being on.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
I'll plug...
No, you go, Dave.
What am I plugging? Patreon. Patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. You go on there for $5 a month. You get exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder's Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and Spiel Boys. We watch movies every Friday night with our patrons. That's tonight.
It sure is. It sure is.
Yeah, and, check it out. There's a bunch of tiers, bunch of things to do.
We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store. We have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs you can get on t-shirts, stickers, mugs, posters, all sorts of things. So slap your little Udo Kier peepers on that. He's got big piercing eyes, that Udo Kier.
There's got to be a good pun. There's got to be a good, like, Udo Kiernan Culkin? No.
Wait a minute.
Kiernan Culkin? Yeah. Udo Kiernan Culkin. We got it.
There it is. That has to be it. We're out of time.
That's it. That's all we got.
Run it.
All right.
Photoshop it.
Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye,
Goodbye.
Gracie.
Bye.
Bye.
Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, Corlew, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.